are. I'll talk some about our philosophy and sort of like how we make games and what we're doing about it. Talk about what makes Wildstar interesting and cool. And then go show you the game itself and dig in there and start seeing how all these kind of philosophies pay off. So we're doing things differently at the show. And I mean that in a couple ways. We're kind of used to doing things differently at Carbide. We do things not like other studios have done in the past. So who are we? We're Carbide. First and foremost, we're gamers, stem to stern. From the receptionist up to the CEO, we play games on a regular basis. We're not just any gamers. We're very specifically, we've helped make a ton of the MMOs that are out there now. You name it, and someone in the building probably has had something to do with it. The core of the team is founded by a group of guys who made World of Warcraft, 20 or so of the seniors and leads. We've branched way out since then. We're 100 and something people. We have people, you name it a big game, and we probably worked on it. And beyond that, we play the crap out of the games that we didn't play. We play our competitor stuff. We play stuff from different territories. We love games. We hit them all. Theoretically, this is for research. And in practice for us, it is research. We've been studying this stuff. It's mostly for research. We also, we're geeks. We do it for fun too, I'll admit. We've been learning, and very specifically, we've been trying to figure out what it takes to make the next great online game. Our goal is the deepest, the richest MMO that's out there. That's the target. We think we as gamers want to play that. And also we think it's where the market is going. And so we'll talk about the things we can do now about how to make that happen. It starts off with listening. Very specifically, listening to gamers. And this is part of what we do. We feed on what players do. We argue the crap out of everything that they do in our games. We listen to them, we quiz them, we focus test them, we get as much information as we can, and what they like and what they don't like. We change our game on this. This is why we got players get hands-on. We announced, whatever it was, 3 days ago, something like 6 people outside of our company ever played the game before, the show opened. And now we've had hundreds and hundreds of people in there. We keep on gathering feedback. Part of why we've announced now is because we want more real players in more often. And so even in alpha, and in alpha, it's a polished game, it's a fun game even in the alpha stages. But we need that feedback, we thrive on it. So because of this, everybody out there, the huge lines downstairs, all that good stuff, every key pressed, we're logging it. Every smile, every frown, we're trying to make the game better. So, cool, good story, Gaffney. Like, what do we learn? What do we think it takes? 3 things we'll start with, Unique art style. We have a strong art style. Our goal is that you take a screenshot of our game and it doesn't look like any others. You know who we are by looking at our game. You don't even feel like you stumbled into an interactive movie, an animated movie, and like you're there on the set. A setting that's evocative. We have a new IP, we have a big story to tell, we need a place to do that. And innovation, this is all about what's new, what's next, what's the cool stuff. Focus on innovation on one thing. Let gamers play how they want to play. And not like hypey marketing, BS sense. We're doing this for real. We take this behind each system we do on each piece of content we do. We try to focus on letting the gamers play how they want, and we'll talk about how we pull that off. So let's hit on art style. We want like a big style. We want it beautiful. We want it dangerous. We want all that in the same area. We want a ritual. We want the world we can live in. And this all has to contain dramatic, like big things, big bosses, big epic fights. But also not take itself seriously. We play these games for hundreds of hours. And so we have fun inside the game. We don't take ourselves seriously throughout. Beyond that, we're kind of a big story. This is a big world that we want. We want a style that can kind of handle all that. This is a world that you live in, that you adventure in. Very specifically, this is a world that needs heroes. This is something with big D's. We'll talk about that. What's that setting? The setting is like a planet called Nexus. This it's home of the galaxy's most advanced race. They have the best magic, they have the best technology, they're the toughest guys. They're called the Elven. So there's a twist. This powerful race that's disappeared. No one knows where they've gone. And because of this, the world is just full of all their technology, of all this magic. But it's all starting to go wrong because the Elven are gone, and so it's malfunctioning. It's not even post-apocalypse, it's sort of mid-apocalypse. Things are going wrong because these Elven have disappeared, and science is going horribly wrong across the planet. So So if you can survive all that, the monsters are erupting up, the technology out of control, there's a world of wonders. You can dig up all sorts of interesting things on this planet. Now that it's being explored, it's being exploited, it's being conquered by the players. And so here's what's that about. Whatever may disappear, whatever that thing is, this is the most powerful race in the universe, more powerful than the Granite, than the Oren, than the humans. Whatever that was, it's still out there. And as players, you need to dig into the story and find out what that is and then react to it, fight it. So, what's important? Innovation. What's different? What's cool in the game? We're gamers, we get it. The next big game needs to do stuff differently. And so what are we doing for that? The same stuff. We can't diss other MMOs. We made like 3/4 of them in the Western market. But you got to do it better. Clone games don't work. And so what's new? And we're doing this. Forget our company mantra is let players play the way they want to play. So we've been studying. We do research literally. And we've identified a bunch of ways that people tend to play the games. Play online games in general. We've added a system that supports exactly that. Player paths. Now, paths are two things. It's your character's motivation. You've got this planet that's all full of mystery. Why is your character coming here? Is he an explorer who's looking to find all the high points, the unmapped area? Is he motivated? What motivates him to come to the planet? It turns out you relate to what's your motivation for playing games. So each path, there's a mechanic to it, there's content, there's rewards, all built around playstyles. What's your place? How do you play the game? It's not races, it's not classes, yeah, we get it, we do that stuff too. This is new, this goes beyond that. So, and what we do, we have a set of cool technology that lets actually change the world. So we can change how you view the world, or we can actually change the world itself. So we're showing some of that off. So what's your play style? What motivates you to play games? Let's talk about these each one at a time. Exploration, real common play style. Turns out maybe 25-30% of players, they like playing games to find the hidden stuff. You see something bright and shiny up there. What is that? You got to get there. This is mapping the tallest mountains. It's following the rivers from stem to stern. And the key is, cross path to path. Go figure. The explorer. Explorers are coming to this world for this. You get rewarded for doing the things you love. When you get to high vistas, you get to unlock lost caverns. You get to make new paths up cliff faces to get to the top. You get to do, you get access to things like super jumping and bouncing around. It's all about being an explorer. Mechanic, two parts. You have a locator. This basically hints at very interesting stuff. There's a big arrow pop that says, hey, there's something neat over there. It's up to you to figure it out and get there. And it's also about the environment, environmental challenges. Hey, here's a cliff. Can you find a way up? Here's an avalanche that's rocking down. Can you find your way through it? Not so much about combat, usually about dealing with things in the environment. Combat. Some big players, they just want to kill stuff. It's like Leroy Jenkins, jump in there, kill, kill. You don't give a crap about quest text. You don't give a crap about the other trade skills and stuff. If there's a cool combat system, you want to go beat stuff up. Tackle a soldier. We let you do more combat than anything else. We take about 30% of the zone and you shift it to be about your playstyle. 70% you kind of share with everybody else so you have things to do together. But then 30% of it is, it's now about the kind of things you like to do. For soldiers, it's beating stuff up. They get to provoke big public quests, plant the flag, monsters all flock in, start attacking, big bosses erupt. And the more you do these things, the more you gain rank, the more you blow stuff up. And they're public, so people see this, they're like, hey, they want to come help you out and fight too. Other people join in, they get a benefit for helping out their own paths. They also help you gain more XP in your path. So mechanic, holdouts. But really it's combat missions of any kinds. The assassination missions, or the different ways of taking different monsters out. But it's all based on combat. Another playstyle. It's kind of a dual playstyle. Collecting is part of it. If you're an achievement junkie, you've got to do every achievement. You play Grand Theft Auto and you got to get 100%, you're a completionist. This is a playstyle based around that. The kind of OCD, I got to figure out everything that's going on. And the other part is story. As you collect things in the world, you gain information. There's scientists. You collect information, you get power. You have a scan bot that follows you around and helps track things down for you. You've seen it in the trailer, the little thing that's beeping around. Yeah, it's not trailer BS, it's actually the mechanic for the scientist. And as you scan different things, maybe you go into an ancient battleground, and there's elven robots that are scattered around. No, you're a scientist. You can scan them, you can study them. As you do that, you figure out how to unlock them, how to turn them on, so now you can get things to help you in the battlefield. And you also unlock parts of the story. And it's the other half of this, it's digging deeper in the lore. You find out what went on this battlefield. You know, what was the race that made these robots? What happened to them? You have to dig more into that than other people. And so it's just like a dual path, you know? Another dual path, building. Now, what these guys are all about is the path of the settler. They're coming here to find a new home planet to live on. What we do is we give them social quests and social rewards. It's all about socializing. You help other people, and then you gain rewards to help you and help your friends out. And they get to build up the social spaces, the towns in the world. So you go to a town and you fix things. You help out its economy maybe. Now new vendors start appearing, new shops start appearing. Maybe you help its security. Well, now more guards start appearing. People who fight nearby get bonuses. The things you do help the city centers. They help the areas of the world where people congregate, and then they help other people do stuff. There's a key about paths. Something interesting. People know what they are. Maybe you've never heard of a path system before, but in general, if you play games, you know, hey, I'm an explorer. This is the kind of thing I like doing. I'm a collector. I got to do everything in the zone. You get it early on. Probably know what your style is already. And you probably know what your friends are like. Now, if you go on a raid and there's the guy who's sitting in the back and he's too busy chatting to help out, that's probably a socializer. Now, if you've got a friend you're trying to adventure with him, he runs off and you see something cool in the distance, that guy's probably an explorer. The key is we build up content so you can do these things together. You can do them with your friends. The more you help out your buddies, they help you out. And we do that in a kind of clever way. What we do is we layer our content through the world. The world changes. It sounds like marketing hype. Well, now let's talk about that and how we do that. This is how we layer our world. There's a lot of layers in the world that are all. Some of these layers are all about you. Some are about your story. Some are about challenging you, challenging skilled players. We make it rich. We make it deep. We center it around what the player wants. Go figure what a concept. So for players, the cool thing about this is you find your own pace. If you're a skilled player, awesome. There's tons of stuff for you to do. If you're a novice player, awesome. You can play through it at your own pace. And this is key because right now, as you look at players in MMOs, there's so many experienced ones, Even so many people have already played an MMO, and you go into a new one and they give you a kill 10 goblins quest, and you're like, I killed 10 goblins before. I'm bored to hell with this. That's why it's so tough to get experienced players into new games. But then also you need to be able to appeal to new players, because you get someone new coming in your MMO, you don't want it so complex that they can't do anything and they quit and they don't want it. It's very tricky to hit that. Layering lets us get through that. All momentum, It's a new way of making games. Next game I make will be based on a probably more complex yet version of the same kind of system. Other games are sort of poking near this, but no one's really nailed it yet, especially not in the MMO space. So we call it momentum mechanics. You build momentum as you work through the world. You get stronger and stronger, and you try to carry this wave of power through the world. I want to talk about that, And we tie all these layers together. And this applies to a bunch of our systems. This is combat, and this is world creation. So, cool story, bro. What's this all about? It's a true story. We're working on a zone 6-9 months ago, something like that. Nick and I worked on it together, actually. And we're building the zone using these sort of layer concepts. Here's what the kind of process is. And forgive me for talking like geeky developer stuff, but it's interesting. It sort of ties into what makes the world. Now, so we're making a new zone. What do we do? Well, you start off, you build up your town. You got your town there. You got your things out in the environment. What we do is we start off first with a layer that's real simple. Standard MMO stuff. Maybe done a little better, taking off a step or two, but like standard stuff you see. You got a guy, they got a punctuation mark over their head. You got to. What we do though, and we do a little bit of this, but it's a little. We do it to tell the main story of what's going on through a zone. What's happening. This is an unannounced race. We haven't talked about it yet, but they're hunters. That's what motivated them to come to the planet. They're the toughest stuff is in the galaxy, and they'll come and kick its butt, grab its head, stick it up on the wall, and say, I'm the toughest hunter. And so, this zone, level 6, level 10 kind of content, this introduces you to this sort of stuff. So like, okay, here's how I get involved in politics in town. You learn about relationships, you go out here, and we're going to send you to kill stuff, to hunt stuff. But not easy stuff, not gazelles, not weak things. You're out there to kill predators, the toughest stuff around. And to make it interesting, so it's not just kill stuff, maybe some huntresses that wander around. And they see what's going on. The tougher a predator you kill near a huntress, the more reputation you get back in town, the more status. So now they start saluting you back in town if you can kill things near huntresses. You don't have to, but you can if you want. There's another mechanic out there. Okay, cool, standard MMO stuff, next step. Okay, the story builds up, now it's time to go kill the leaders. Or do something else new, you know? Yeah, standard things, kill some bosses. We've done that in 40 MMOs, I'm sure. Hey, you kill the bosses. Maybe these predators get scared of you now because you killed off their bosses, and so you start, this is a big aggressive area, and it's tough to move through. There's cats in the tall grass stalking you and stuff. Well, now they're starting to run away from you, and so you feel more powerful, you know? You're cool, you're starting to win this one. That's pretty neat. And then it's time to kill the huge boss. Rah, grab his head, stick it up on a pipe, and then bring it back to town. Big public quest starts. Woohoo, everybody gets a big bonus together for having completed the Great Hunt. Awesome. Basic MMO stuff. You know, good basic MMO stuff. I argue, but basic MMO stuff. How do we punch that up? We start adding layers in there, you know. Hey, so path content, you know, what's your path do as you do all this? Well, I'm a scientist. You know, as I'm looking at these predators in here, I notice something different. You know, a couple of them are different than the other ones. So I scan them and I find out what's up. They're mutated. You know, what mutated them? Well, the more of these cats I scan, the more powerful I start getting. I'm better at killing cats. You know, it helps me now. It helps me against their bosses. And also start unlocking why they're mutated. What happened to these things to cause this to occur? Well, you know, it's kind of cool. You know, I'm doing scientist stuff all around, but this is helping me on my main quest line. So I'm actually kind of getting double bonuses while I'm killing these cats. I find a mutant one. Ooh, maybe I killed near a huntress. Ooh, I'm getting all sorts of bonuses by playing this well. Or I'm an explorer, you know. Explorer is all about finding hidden stuff. You get over here, and your locator says there's something interesting leaning up on the top of the tree. And you can figure out how to bounce your way from branch to branch, rock on, you're going to get a big reward for having gone up there. And the devs were smart. You know, we layer a lot of this kind of stuff along the path. We know you're going to follow the storyline, so a lot of it follows the main storyline. But some of it's off in the middle of nowhere. You know, hidden caves that unlock as an explorer, roll the boulder back. No one else can see it, no one else can activate it, but you can. Your friends can come with you into it once you found it. You know, there's cool stuff for them to do inside it. So that's your path layer. Now challenges. You're killing your leader, I think you're killing a cat. If you can kill it really well, the challenge pops up. Time challenge. Woo! Can you fight? If you can kill 5 more of these things in the next 2 minutes, you're getting another big reward. Hey, neat. You know, now there's sort of an extra thing going on here where can I kill as fast as I can? An extra layer of challenges going on. And not all challenges, they're sprinkled everywhere. You know, normal MMOs do like a good kill 10 goblins quest. You replace that with these challenges more often than anything else. So you can find them kind of all over the place. You feel extra motivation to beat stuff up. But it's not all beating stuff up. It's also if you're in the tree, you get near a climbing challenge. Can you make it to the top in 45 seconds? Well, if I'm not an explorer, now I can get a benefit for bouncing around and doing all that stuff. Or if I'm exploring, I get double benefits. Can I do both of these at once? And the rewards multiply, so I get extra rewards for having done this. The key is give you a little taste of all sorts of playstyles everywhere, but reward you for doing the things you love. Reward you for skill, too. So the more skilled you are, the more you can do. And you can do more. Spontaneous quest, you know. The guys in punctuation marks is kind of boring. You've seen that for like, what, 14 years now or something. They're all over the place. Most of the quests find you. And so you're out here, you get a call, you have a cell phone, a communicator. You know, it's a science fiction game. You don't need to go find people and talk to them. You can call them up and you have something to say. Scientist goes, he's inside of a giant raptor that's running around. Help, help, I got eaten. You know, save me, you got 2 minutes. Can you find the one that ate me? I'll tell you, I'll pop out and I'm going to quest over. I'll give you some new quests to do. Oh, so now you're running around killing raptors and you find the right one and it explodes. The guy pops out and gives you some quests. These things find you because you can bump into them out in the wild. Some of them are random and they appear randomly. Some of them are static and you go in the right area and you find them. But we spread them kind of everywhere. It's much more interesting than things that where you motivate yourself versus the other way around. That's another layer throughout the world. And another one I'll talk about. They actually have kind of infinite layers. We'll talk about the seminal discoveries. This is a key one. You know, the world's filled with all this Elven technology, Elven ruins and all that stuff. And we have that cool world-changing technology, and so we combine those. You know, you see gleaming things, you dig it up, and you can find all sorts of stuff. A chest pops up, a new dungeon engine rumbles up, and now you got a new instance that's in the zone, or a new micro, you know, cave, or whatever that you can find within the zone. A new quest hub can appear, so more quests you can get. The key about this is it's dynamic. You don't know what you're going to get. And the coolest ones of these, the best one of these from the design standpoint, I'd argue from the player standpoint, is the ones that affect the world around you. Hey, you found an altar to the blood god, and there's a sword on top. Whoever can kill the most monsters near the altar is going to gain the sword on it. Well, now you start dragging them, you're fighting raptors with that giant, drag them over to the altar. Maybe you can get that sword at the same time as you're getting your raptors. You know, oh, you're killing cats, awesome, drag them to the altar. Maybe you can get more of that. Just kill whatever you can try to get the sword. It's all about having these layers interact. What's key, you know, what worked for me, and I'm a dev, you know, I've kind of seen it all, I've kind of done it all. I got max level characters and like an embarrassing number of MMOs. But for me, I know the zone. Now I've worked on the zone. I know all the discoveries that might possibly be there. I know all of the challenges, all of the tests, all the everything. But I'm playing for the zone. You know, I'm a scientist. I'm like, okay, I'm going out there, I'm killing my jungle cats. Hey, cool, this one's a mutant. I can scan it. I can get extra information. Oh, and there's a huntress. Okay, so bounce over here. I'll kind of kill the huntress, and I'll get like triple rewards for the same thing. Like, oh, there's a second huntress. I try to hop in the middle. Now I'm trying to get both of them in here, and I'm killing cats as fast as I can. Challenge pops up. I'm killing more. And I'm swept up by my own damn team. Now at level 6, I'm used to level 85. Layering lets you build your own momentum. It's momentum. The more you can handle at once, the more you can do. And it's by making these layers be individually interesting, but then making them combine together. And it works, and it's fun. And it'll show it because it's cool. That's why I say games get made like this. Because as a developer, this is actually a nice easy way to lay out content. Lots of small pieces. But on the other hand, it intertwines and makes it very complex for the user if you want it to be complex. Because if you're a noob, if you don't have 4 level 85 characters, awesome. You follow your story. You're telling your story, you probably find a bunch of challenges. You can re-unlock them. There's some challenges now. Oh, that thing in the tree, go back. You don't have to do it all at the same time. You can do it one at a time if you want. So the area still plays great at level 6 for a true noob. It's a very powerful concept. Cool pocket. Let's go show some. So, college, I forgot to mention the layer here. I'll mention it briefly, and we'll just go show it. Each area kind of has its own economies. Monsters don't like each other, they start fighting. You know, there's prey on. We don't give you quests to kill them, it's boring. You don't want to kill gazelles and stuff, but they're out there. In fact, the predators eat them. The gazelles are smart. They get thirsty and they go drink out of the river. There's alligators in the river. Then eat them. They get hungry and they go seek out tall grass, which is where these guys hang out. They like hanging out in tall grass, so they get eaten. And you learn this as a player, and prey runs away from you, of course. It's scary. As you walk up to it, runs away. You scare it with a pack of predators, and they all eat it. Now you jump in and take advantage of combat. Technology's nice. You give as many little tools as possible as a player to play with. But if you're into the depth, you're into the complexity, you can use it. It's about making the deepest world out there. You know, what's the goal? The goal is simple. Deeply layered content throughout. Have the deepest, richest MMO out there. I'd argue I'd put up our level 6 content against most of the games that are out there in terms of depth. It's a very achievable goal. Philosophy. You know, how do we design these layers of content? The challenge the player. It's got to be a challenge for the player first and foremost. Recognize. To do 3 stages. To make it clear something's going on. You know, you don't want these things to be over class. React. Players' actions have to matter. We did dynamic events for a long time. Shifted crash out of the sky. There's a big dungeon that appears. The guy calls for help. It's cool. You know what? Players never noticed it. We never noticed it when we were testing because we had nothing to do with it. You come along after. Is a cool crash ship in the ground? Is it static? Is it always there? Is it dynamic? You don't know. You're just like, hey, cool crash ship. Players didn't know the neat stuff about what the world made the player's action matters. Tie it to discovery so you're unlocking these things yourself. Reward. It's got to be worthwhile. Played MMOs, you know. If you bang your head to the wall and you get an XP every time you do it, and they have this awesome fun stuff over here, but it doesn't give you as much XP, guess what? You smack your head into the wall. Players get trained to do the things you're rewarded for. You reward the things that are fun. If you like doing a certain playstyle, awesome, you're rewarded for it. Then take it to the next level. You know, make each layer give you more. Make each layer more complex over time so there's more stuff to do as you level up. And add more simultaneous layers so that you can, as a skill player, now you can start combining them together. There's rich experience. You like deep stuff? Awesome. Do it one at a time. Complexity. You're on your 8th character? Awesome. Do as much as you can. Tackle it all at once. Like a slot machine with the boards going. So, players play how they want to play. It's all we do. We've got one more system, and we'll jump in the game. And slow me down, ask me questions. I'm excited. I'm not on a rail, so feel free to jump in if I say something confusing or something yes, or I talk too fast. Combat. So, recognize. 3 phases. You see a big ass boss, raw. Actually, not a big ass boss. First monster you see in the game, level 3 right now. says a threat. It says, I'm going to do a big-ass attack here. I'm going to knock you over if you stay around. Now the player has to react to it. Stage 2. I recognize what's happening here. And so, reaction, what do? You double tap S, dodge out of there. We give you interrupts. You can interrupt, stun, grab control, do your high cooldown abilities, try to kill them real fast. Choose how you want to react. Just take the hit, keep on going. Give you a reward if you solve it properly. And so this reward's twofold. First of all, often the creature gets weak or something like that. Early monsters you see on the show floor get to do this. Double damage because I dodged his attack. But it's also more than that. It gives you XP. Most games they give you XP, you kill a monster, hey, 15 XP. We give you some, but really earning XP is all about how well you played in the fight, how skillful you were in the fight. So if you dodge successfully, evasion bonus, more XP for killing the monster. If you attack the monster for one after the other, momentum bonus for fighting fast. You interrupted, interruption bonus. You rack these bonuses up. You rack them up to level 3, and you get to a raid, and there's all sorts of different ways to play against tough monsters to be able to maximize the rewards you get. Keep it simple, give complex ways you got to interact. So, more layers in combat, more complex layers in combat. Do them all at the same time. I'm sure this is my level 6 for the cool stuff. So, didn't cover it. Normal MMO stuff, AAA MMO stuff, we do it as a rule. Launch now, Tradesville, Public Quest. Standard stuff we do for AAA MMO. We'll probably try doing it somewhat differently. We'll announce all sorts of new stuff over the next year as we go in and do more and more stuff. What we're talking about now is innovation, forging your path. How do you want to play the game? Choose a play style, choose a path. Layer the content. Combat that's fun, easy, but has enough complexity to keep you interested. Deepest, richest MMOs, play how you want to play. So we're making worlds different. We're really doing something in a very different fashion. Let's go show it. The goal is fun. That's what adds up to the user. God knows how much this ends up as gold points on the box. What it turns into is just a fun game. Questions?
I think it's amazing. It's going to be an help to balance all those things out.
It's actually kind of easy to balance in some ways because we can focus on each little piece of content, each individual layer. It's small, you know what I mean? So you test, and make it work. And then it's the combinations that gets really interesting. The toughest stuff to test, toughest thing for QA, it's the dynamic things. Making sure all of the little random elements, when they appear in the world, don't break things. As an example, we have one of the challenges, one of the discoveries you got from the world. We get a pair of jumping boots, and you can jump double heights, you can bounce around and do new stuff. You need to build your zones right, so now that if people are jumping outside of the zone, there better be there stuff for them to do, and so we put that in naively in an early zone that had boundaries, and that doesn't work so well. So finding all those combinations is the hard part. But we QA the crap out of it. We keep each layer simple to start so we can test it, so we can know that it doesn't break.
How long it took to reach this point of development?
The interfaces, the 20 or so seniors and leads left WoW not too long after it shipped. Left was not too long after it shipped. It was 2004 or 5, that kind of time frame. And they were kind of blue sky research mode, building the engines, it's all proprietary technology, building tool sets, building all that kind of stuff. But then maybe about 3 years ago, we sort of set down this course of, hey, we're going to build it. So we've really been in production for actually about 3 years. And it's a team right now, it's 130 something people. Kind of all trying to, really we're doing a lot of production right now, zone after zone after zone, hundreds of hours of stuff. So kind of that's the sort of stage we're at in terms of all that.
Instances, rates, those kinds of things we didn't do.
We're not talking about it yet, but the short form is the standard MMO stuff we do, we have our own take on it. That technology will just change terrain, change the world. And you can imagine that has some cool effects on how you might do raiding or how you might do PvP and that sort of thing. But because we iterate so much, we try not to talk about stuff until we can show it. It's kind of like for announcement, it's like, hey, we'll talk about stuff we can show today. It's cool. The zone I'm talking about, it's not a theoretical zone. It's zone. All 6 of them are on the other continent. It's the stuff that we can show and show now. Watch out. Sorry.
It's
It's persistent world, and what we do is we do two tricks with it. When we tell a story, we usually give you an instance to do it in, a solo instance, because we don't want other players interfering with the kind of unoccupied story. So sometimes we give you a solo instance. That kind of interrupts your flow. We try not to do that too often. The other thing is there's newbie areas or lobby areas. We instance them so for launch day, when you get 1,000 people pile in a zone, everybody's killing all the same stuff. We instance those areas so that hey, it's comfortable, like maybe 20, 30 people around. And so when you show you the level 3 through 6, that's instance, but everything out is like big open world. If we have time, actually, we're not showing it on the show floor. I'll pop into the level 6 zones right after this and sort of show you the big world too if we have time. It's all locked on. So you choose your race, you choose your class, choose your gender. The normal MMO, you choose this freeform. For the demo, because we're lazy, we polished up a couple of combinations. Not that lazy. And so we tie together like the Granok warrior with the Granok race and the warrior class. But in real world, we play with our character customization and do all that. So just for a show. So the Granok, big rock guys, big butt, big names. They're mercenaries. Warrior, just like you'd expect. Huge sword, big shield, kind of slow-paced, heavy damage class. The Spellslinger, they combine guns and magic together, so they are like a combination of spellcaster and gunslinger. And they're because it's sort of it's part of the vibe right because that magic and technology combined. And they're all about they move around real fast. They don't run, they bounce around and you shoot a lot. The Orin. This is an animalistic race. This one has bunny ears, but actually you choose your ears, you choose your tail, and like kind of how you want to look for. It's generally animal themed, kind of ferocious. And the Esper. These guys are at Palpass. They summon swords with their mind. They summon illusions with their mind. So we'll show off Spellslinger, we'll show off Esper. You can play any of them downstairs as well. Each one has a mechanic. Each class kind of plays differently. We'll skip through and we'll show other stuff instead. You choose your path. What's your play style? We have 2 locked right now. They work with them sort of that way. The Explorer and the Soldier are playable downstairs. All about combat and about finding stuff. We'll show both of them. Then maybe use an Explorer first. What's your mechanic? You have a locator. It hints at where things are. It gets more complex. You're hitting at multiple things and having to juggle different things over time. And you're placing beacons down in the early zone satellites to call things in, calling snipers kind of out in one area, escape signals. We'll just jump in and show it. Humans, Spellslinger, Explorer. So humans, they're coming to Nexus for the first time. And your first early zone, hey, you're on an arc ship as you're approaching the planet, and then you crash into the northern clouds.
Another one here. Don't look good. Somebody give me the zapper. Clear. Still got no else. Come on. You're gonna make it. You hear me? You're gonna make it. Clear. Glad to see I was wrong. I hate to leave you like this. There'll be others that need my attention.
Okay, so first thing you notice, Elden technology everywhere, done horribly wrong. This is a weather control tower. It's gone out of control, so there's like big storms in the zone. There's snow flying down, big vortex in the sky. First mission is you got to go down and figure out how to turn that thing off. It's getting involved in the Elden story right off the bat. We're cheating through here because we're new. That's what we do. And the story quest I mentioned, each zone has a story. We give you a guide to tell you. We give you this is your path. As an explorer, you see this guy who give you an explorer quest. We actually don't do this a ton. This is the first one to kind of tell you, hey, here's what being an explorer is all about. But really, you find this stuff in the wild. Your locator kind of hints things out for you most of the time. As soon as you're after the first one, your locator starts finding stuff for you. Which was interesting, if we skip our story quest, the main thrust of the zone, the quests find you, and so you get a call, a guy saying, help, I need help. If there's dynamic things happen, there's other quests, often you get calls from the communicator because the quests are plugged into you. We're not keeping you on the rail, but we're making sure you know when you're going off, into the wilderness and the others. Let's talk combat. Combat's fast-paced for us, but it's skill-based. It's a combo that's tricky to pull off. So Yeti, hey, we beat him up. Hey, first lesson, you're seeing that threat I'm talking about, the basic level. Stay in, you get beat up. That was Golden Hill briefly, if he dodged it, you could take him in and kick the crap out of him. But otherwise, you can just shoot them up, beat them up, and you'll fight through. Now you're more skilled, and you start figuring this out. So you beat up a monster, and you get a momentum moving more because you're fought fast. Maybe you're fighting here, there's a threat. If you dodge out of it, not only do you dodge it, you get evasion bonus. He turns vulnerable, so you can kick the crap out of him. We're already rewarding him for skill, even in like the first couple of combats. Well, we had it at our UI like about 3 weeks ago, and so over time this would be like big fireworks going on and all that stuff. What is this though? You get rewarded for what their skill level is. Now if you're exploring, there's stuff to do out in the wild. It's often environmental. Your locator says, hey, there's something up there. We're not going to tell you how to get there. Here's the goal. Here's what you got to do. And then you got to dodge stuff on your way. Maybe you have to jump up a cliff. Maybe you can make paths appear. It's a very path where you got to deal with that. Your ship crashes, follows all this stuff, fall down, and then you got to figure out how to make your way up the path. It's got to. I give me a hard time when it's hit. It's what happens. And the key here is that we're giving you things to do that are the kind of things you want. Get up and play feasts, spontaneous quests. You can find things in the wild. Some are tiny. This guy's just a guy buried in the snow, some reason. Sometimes it's investigative, sometimes it's new stuff. Random stuff for some of it, static for some of it. So you get up here, our locator's kind of hitting the general area. If we ever look pulled over here to detect exactly where we need to go, as you get there, hey, you're going to call down your satellite, send up your signal, for help on your first thing. And of course, we reward you. We're always rewarding you. We do this to kind of drag you into the fun bitch. Whenever you do something cool, we kind of give you a reward. And also, the other payoff is you get up to the cool high points. These guys tend to get the super jump puzzles, or they get different things that drag them up to the high bases and things that people can't see. So let's go to the soldier and what their first sort of content is like. He's cheating, he can't die from all this stuff. We can also fly about too. Our world's built around flight. We don't actually get flying around some things that we don't end up with. So you're cheating, I see what you're doing. This is soldier. Plant down a flag. Sometimes words of monsters, sometimes bosses. They need more things to fun. And do it publicly so your friends can join in and fight with you too. Public quest, same kind of deal with us. And also this is fast-paced. You just sort of bunches of these monsters running in, you got to take them out as fast as you can. And as a soldier, you get up higher levels, you get the toys played, you got a grenade launcher to use, you got turrets to place down to help you out. And more complex things are all based around combat. And you get to use crowd control abilities and stuff early on. You get to use team abilities and that kind of stuff because you're fighting in hordes, you're fighting in groups, as opposed to single monsters all the time. You gate that sort of thing. You get a lot of movement abilities, and it stuns everything around you, so you get to take advantage of this. Spells are all about fast and furious, shooting the guns, moving about, doing as much damage as possible. Hey, so you take out a couple basic waves, and like now the boss, this alarm is woke up a giant underneath the snow. And this has a whole bunch of big abilities and stuff. Early on, we're already teaching you new threats and things. How range attacks work, line attacks, prone attacks, moving targets. We teach you all this stuff as we go. Easy enough for new players to do, but hard enough to get complex players. And the more you dodge, you get more bonuses for doing stuff, fighting the monster in other ways. So what we're trying to do is give you this constant stream of little things to do. And your first area here, pretty basic. Go kill some stuff, you do your first little explore things. We're teaching players how to play our game on your first area. But then as you go on, you get more and more deeper layers. By the time you get to the second area of the zone, you're starting to see discoveries, you're starting to see challenges popping up, you're starting to see more and more. Your first question I mentioned is, hey, go turn off the tower. We'll cheat through it so we don't have to go do some cool jumping type puzzles and stuff in the back to go do to unlock it. But I actually want to turn the snow off so it's not going home through the rest of the zone. Show you a cool vignette. We do little cutscenes, but our cutscenes aren't really cutscenes. These things happen in the world. You can escape out and just go watch them happen in the world. It's quite cool. This is just a fixed camera. I'm sure we're another one later and also show you what that means. Oh, we're running out of time.
Es ist jetzt 18:45 Uhr. Wir machen unsere verehrten Besucher darauf aufmerksam, dass die Gamescom 2011 um 19 Uhr beendet sein wird. It is now 7:15. We remind our visitors that the Gamescom 2011 will be ending at 7 o'clock.
Change the spawns in the area. We can do this either for single players, phasing stuff, that's pretty standard now, or we can do it for everybody in the zone. We do it both different ways. When we have a big payoff of we change the rule, we like to affect everyone. If it's just about your story, we tend to phase it so that it's not annoying to everybody else. But we can do both. Oh, we have a discovery. In the low areas, it's pretty simple. Chests, items, little shrines that'll give you a buff, that kind of thing. But you can get more complex over time. You get to level 6 plus and you start seeing dungeons rumble up out of the ground and things like that. Those ones that I mentioned, things that give you more quests, things to do in the area. Let's show us some more combat here. Not a new mechanics, new guys to react to, fast pace, rapid bonuses. But if you can kill it fast enough, these guys will actually trigger a challenge. A new challenge, you're good at killing these things. Kill more faster. Well, now as you get higher level, you have to start pulling these things up in groups and take them on as fast as you can. It's about that gaining momentum part of things. Now we give you more bonuses. Now you're paying off the quest. We got a quest to kill these guys. We got a challenge to kill them. So we're getting double bonus from that. You get epic kills, triple kills for killing them near each other. We give you abilities kind of based around this. You can blow them up so that they damage others around. You can drag in more monsters, get more momentum. Try to make a nice little job. Or do both. They blew one up and kill the other. Hey, great, you get XP bonuses for it, and you get triple kills or double kills for doing so. You rack up like 14 things or something like that. How are you? The key is momentum. The skill combat even. And it's an ecology in the world. So monsters eat each other. You use them to fight each other. Little spontaneous things sprinkled all over the place. We try to give you a lot to do, even in an area. Deepest MMO at level 4 or something around now. Oh, this is cool. So your map, this track's where you've been through. You'll in the Indiana Jones marker showing you that, hey, you fought a bunch of mobs there, hey, you unlocked this. Show you as well things you found, things you didn't find. How many, so as a complete completionist, you go through and make sure you find all the stuff and know where it's at. There's the same kind of log we actually do on every player. And everybody runs around downstairs, we track every path they walk, how they kill, did they die enough, or did they die too much, or, all that kind of good stuff. Yes, in Keeper, we make it so that people die a certain amount, we can't be produced. So the key with all this is, everything the player does, we learn from it. In this case, they learn from it too. So let us go. I'm not going to show you stuff. So let's go crash the ship real quick. Your story continues. There's a demon queen over here. You beat her up. You save a bunch of scientists. And you come back, and now you're going to call in a ship to basically have the scientists get rescued and get left out of the zone. I'll use it to show off just some of the technical stuff about it. Forgive me for lazy cruise. Ooh, if you're calling in the ship, yes, we send up our signal, it's going to come in. And our little cinematic moment, the ship arrives. We'll actually escape out and just watch it in the world because, again, this stuff just happens in the world. This happens to be phased, we do all the same stuff instance or not instance. Some you can interact with, some are just set pieces. We use it as a storytelling tool. Maybe you're bored, your cigarette plan, now it's time to smoke. Get a drink in. A lot of people just skip cinematics if I do. We use this storytelling mechanism in a couple of ways. When you're on the main storyline, we use to kind of, even if you don't read quest text, you still see what's going on. In this case, the ship's getting shot down. Doing this is triggered the new Dominion camp, the enemy faction camp that you can attack. And we can change stuff, add new structures in the world. Nice to know at the same time. You're still going to get shot down by the enemy camp. Stick around there. We can change structures, we can change geometry, terrain, textures, kind of name it. We don't necessarily put that on the box in the front. It's a good text for us to vary up our systems in interesting ways. So let's go. Go get the enemy camp. As an esper, so we show off more combat, more abilities and things. And then if I can sneak it in, we'll pop into the zone that's beyond that, which is on the show floor, and I'll show you off some of the Albarock in the next 7 minutes. Any questions? Anything I talked too fast over or went it sounded like BS? It hit the point where it's fun, it's nice development, like the game often sucks for a long time because it's sort of boring doing the bits. It's fun and it's so much easier to develop the game afterwards. So now we're in Oren. Now these guys are animalistic race, as I mentioned. And specifically we're an Esper. Mental powers, telepathy, that kind of thing. And so let's go beat some stuff up. These guys are healing, buffing type classes, really, but everyone does damage. And they summon swords to beat stuff up. Or animals, or also nightmares, all sorts of good stuff. That's kind of an interesting power, that delayed blade thing. You cast it and then it takes time to pay off. And so you actually can't combine it with your other abilities in sort of interesting ways that you might want it to be into something like that. And as you do this area, you can buff yourself, you can heal yourself. This is a heal spell from some like morale spell, heal everybody in the area. They have focus points. The more they focus on a single enemy, they build up power and then they get usually dump that on another enemy. In this case, there's a finishing move. Blow it up, do a whole bunch of damage. Leave a damage field to damage other things around it. We keep tossing new tricks here. This is maybe like an hour or so into the game, and so most people on the show floor don't reach this point. They only give them 40 minutes. I think 7 guys made it all the way through a demo in 40 minutes. Big ass attacks, big ass powers. And combat sequence, right? We're going to skip. We'll skip up to the hill to the end boss, the romantic fast forward button to do so. And I'll show sort of the payoff of where that combat goes below kind of 5, 6 or 7. Like the Ultra Ball. This is the minion you fought through, hordes of your soldiers, and now this guy's guarding the final ships that you need to get out. And he's got a bunch of different abilities you can do. Hopefully they'll behave well, so there's AI, so he doesn't and so you get moving targets on the ground. He has missile attacks and now multiple things to dodge it around. And it's not like raid boss content, this is like early content. If you kill him really, really well, awesome, you're a skilled player. Most players can struggle through it if they're a new player, so it's not too tough. And the better you kill, the better reward you get off. This carries up another raid level on stuff. Hey, you can take out your guild finally managed to do a cool raid. Awesome rewards. Hey, can you speed runs? Can you faster? Can you do it better? All the more. So the key everywhere is let new players play well, let experienced players play well, play how you want to play. Now it's very not trying to make a game forever. But we are trying to get as many playstyles as we can, so we reward you for having fun the way that you like to play. So we'll pop on the ship, we'll fly us to the next zone. We blocked that off on the show floor, so the ship just had it. You gotta make behind the screen and all that kind of stuff. That's a devil mentioned. The next zone is like right over these mountains, so the fact that they zoom off. Personally find amusing because they're really actually going about. Let's pop in and we'll show off some of that newbie area as well that's over the hills. So the area that we're going to go in is Alrock, mining area. This is out in the full-fledged world. You can walk anywhere else in the world from here. In fact, someone made it over his own boundaries on the show floor and started hopping around the rest of the world. Like, no. The series is all about mining. You're mining these big blue crystals. It's called waftite. And it makes you lighter than air if you're near it. We're flying around this sort of cheaply, but you get to this area, it's all low gravity, so you can bounce around and grab the waftite. And it's powerful enough you can pull like rocks and things up out of the ground. So as you go into like, big ass areas, some vertical play spaces to start mining with. And this is like not, polished like final area. This is one of the areas we still have in development right now. It's still pretty, it's still cool. We have these tech that just paint on the ground like it's a canvas. So we can paint in all sorts of details and stuff. I'm blowing our texture packs. We haven't done a ton of it here yet. What this means is that even really low-end machines, we can run well on this. That's part of the reason we have a nice stylized look to it. And that's all content sort of everywhere. If you see sheep wandering around here, there's a minefield in the area, and occasionally you'll see sheep blow up mines. Rapidly give you things to do to things like that. If you learn about mines, it's new layers, you sprinkle it around, and you pull creatures into them, that kind of stuff. And there's content kind of spread around everywhere. There's shit going up. If you go up the hill, if you're good at super jumping, you can find the unlocked hidden area up there. It's one store stuff. I'll fly about, wander near Gallo, any of that kind of stuff. It's fine. As we do zone layout, we do a couple cool tricks. You know, we make the big points of interest in every direction leading you on, so you don't get lost. We try to give you interesting things to see off in the distance. Hey, you know that hey, there's a forested area over here, strip mine everything. You spin about and see like caves and stuff. Anywhere over there's area. And dynamic events can pop up. Different things happen in the area, change the terrain, all that sort of good stuff. Any questions, comments, things I can answer?
The graphic's amazing. Who's the director?
Who's the art director?
Yeah.
The guy's name is Matt McCarsky. Brilliant.
Absolutely. It's amazing.
Yeah. What we go for is like a consistency of style too, and it's very hard. I'm not an artist. I'm like so far from it, so I respect it, and thank God they're good at it because I understand. They're very good at having it all feel like a consistent world, and it's really that like you stumbled into an animated movie kind of feel that we're going for everywhere. Oh, I'm excited.
On a high-quality server, will the momentum mechanic could be flowed because of too many players in the same zone?
Oh, so the way that we actually handle that, we do a bunch of... We try to make our server sort of as efficient as possible. So we actually have very low relative, I guess you don't care, but our server costs are very low because we do things in a very lightweight fashion as we handle the server side. So we don't actually have that many things. More than anything else, our constraints on that just aren't that high, frankly. Because what we do is we do change parts of the world at runtime. When we change it for everybody, it's cheap, you know. If we get lots and lots of instances, lots of solo things going on, it can get expensive, but it's not that bad.
So all the distancing in the world.
We don't do a ton. Where we do it is two places. A really low level, because we want our launch day, want 10,000 people all trying to kill the same sheep. And then at high level, because my personal opinion is one thing MMOs have a nice thing about. We need an elder game for each kind of gameplay. And if you're a solo player, about 70% of people, they play alone. They occasionally do a little group and you play through solo. But then you get up to that elder game, what do you do with solo? Like nothing. Like grind reputation, or you do trade skill farming or something. Like it's all raiding, it's all group activities, or PvP. And so what we do is actually, we're not talking a ton in detail because we can't show it and I don't want to sound BSy, but we basically give you solo stories to do at the higher end, where you have your own solo dungeons you can do yourself so that you can pay attention to the story and unlock more about the story without some raid leader yelling at you to move over here and do this, and you can't figure out what's going on. And then episodically we'll release more of these like every couple of months so that we keep advancing the story so you don't just finish it and get bored of it. And so that's the goal on that. But we'll talk more about that as we can actually show it as opposed to, hey, it sounds cool, but where's it at? We haven't talked about PvP, but the bars of it talks about here. It's important so you can level up from early level up to high by doing PvP. So we do PvP in the open world, if you're on the right server. We do the group PvP where you can join in and fight in random groups. But it's key to us that you have an elder game for that as well. Because again, each kind of area's gameplay PvP needs an elder game. So we're strongly committed to that. Our opinion is there's no better way to set fire to a huge pile of money than make an MMO and don't give it an elder game. Because people leave after 2 months. You spent all this time, you sold 2 million boxes. Yay! Who cares? Because if everyone leaves in 2 months, you're not going to make any money on the game. You're not enjoying it, you're not having fun. So elder games are very important to us.
That would be a retail game or a free-to-play different investment market system?
We're not talking business model yet. The short-term is sort of flexible. What's the most fun for players? Play how you want to play. And that makes the most money because we're greedy bastards who need to make money. It's fun to do too, but I like money. And so we'll do some secret market pad on the ship. We can probably change territory to territory. Some territories are very strongly want one thing or want another thing. And so it's likely to be flexible.
Any idea about when to ship the game?
Yeah, but it's ready when it's ready. We're one of those annoying groups, it's got to be good. We'll ship the day after we have a couple hundred hours of content being up to cap, and the day that we have other games for each of the gameplay styles. But that takes time, so however long it takes us to get there is really what we're doing. Because I'm serious about the commitment, How to do the other game, or really pretty, really awesome, really bored after 2 months. It's not fun.
The beta day?
Right now internally we're in friends and family, like so people will keep expanding. Outside of our company and our little friends, 6 people have played until the day before the show started. And so now we've had 1,500 or so people play the game, you know, in the last day or so. So that's a good start. Because we feed on the log everything everyone does. So it's like, hey, which paths do people prefer, which classes they prefer, where'd they go, did they get out of the zone, did they die too much? And so based on that, we need user feedback, and so we probably do be pretty active in terms of public access to the game because we need real players. We know too much. Our wives and our moms don't know enough necessarily, and so we need hardcore gamers and bunch of them to get in there. Yeah,
congratulations, it's awesome.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. Great, thank you very much.